Hello. So I have a reading today. Obviously, by the title, you know what it is. What would a tarot reader say about you? And obviously, I'm a tarot reader and I'm going to be saying things about you. But this is more like if someone not necessarily had gotten a reading on you, but maybe like if you yourself had gotten a reading on yourself, because the questions that I'm asking are kind of like very tailored to your path, right? So the first question will be, what would they say about your spirituality and your spiritual journey and your path? The second question is, what would they say about the way that you love others, or just love in general, whatever it is that you pour your soul and heart into? The third question is going to be, what would they say about your spirit team? And then the last question is, what would they say is your best quality? So if you were getting a reading on yourself, this would be what they say. If someone else was inquiring about you, this is probably also what they would say. So we have 3 piles. Everything's already pre-shuffled and pre-picked, just because I wanted to like move through the reading. If I shuffle, it usually takes a little bit longer. But your options, right, are this crystal bracelet, which has a lot of crystals on them, labradorite, which, if I can find the right way to show you how it, I guess not. Oh, there it is. There's a shift. And then the third option is these 2 Herkimer diamonds. So go ahead and pick your pile and I'll see you in your reading. Very short intro today. I just want to get to it. I'm going to start with pile 1, okay? Hello, pile 1. So if you guys picked this crystal bracelet, this is going to be your reading about what would a tarot reader say about you. And I'm going to be that tarot reader for you. Okay. I don't know where I want to put this. I think I'm just going to leave it here on the side. So every little stack, or I should say every little group of cards, has a question that is going to be answering. The first question we're going to be answering is, what would they say about your spirituality or your spiritual path? So let's get right into it. 2 of Swords, okay? And Judgment. Right away, the fact that it's a 2 and a 2, you have great potential, and I think you're a little bit confused about what path you should be taking, or what kind of things you should be pursuing when it comes to your spirituality. However, you're very talented, you're very connected, maybe just naturally connected to your higher self. It's just that you second guess everything that happens. It's almost like you second guess your intuition, you second guess your spirit guides communicating with you. And it's not necessarily coming from a skeptic side of you, because I think you're a believer in spirituality. It's just more of like, you cannot make up your mind kind of thing. Very much giving me air sign energy, which obviously with the 2 of Swords. So that is Aquarius, Libra, and oh my God, I'm like totally spacing out. What is the third one? So it's Aquarius, Libra. What? It'll come to me. So yeah, it's giving me like you really want to keep the balance. You want to make sure that you're always picking the right thing, almost like not wanting to make mistakes. Maybe you're very judgmental with yourself as well. You're very hard on yourself. And if I could give you some advice, even though this is not about advice, this is about what I'm just seeing here, but maybe it's a little bit, you have to let go, and it's okay to make mistakes. The illusion that you always have to pick there's always like a right choice. That's kind of an illusion for you. Every choice is the right choice. You just have to make one, okay? And then just trust and surrender. Like there's a need for you to just allow things to happen. You're gonna feel so much aligned when it comes to that. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned it, but like when I said 2-2, so 22 is a master teacher number. You have a lot of potential. In fact, the more, that's probably why you second guess everything that you kind of want to do or pursue when it comes to your spirituality, because you feel such like a, it's not you feel burdened by your responsibility as maybe someone who eventually will be a teacher in some kind of aspect of the esoteric, but just like in general, you still feel such a sense of like responsibility, which is why again you go back to like not even making a decision. You're in a very confused state a lot of the times. It's all in your mind though. Like I feel like in your reality and especially in the spiritual realm, you are not confused. But here, your mind really does play tricks on you. Interesting. All right. Ooh, breath of the cosmos. My will to thy will. Micromanaging the universe. Exactly. You might struggle with that. You might struggle a little bit with micromanaging things, micromanaging even yourself. And the spirit is saying, like, don't. There's no way you could do that. We understand that it stems from a place of you, like, intuitively knowing that you hold a lot of power, wisdom, gifts, but it's time to just live in the moment. Look at that. I mean, I can't make that up. Wisdom. See your adversaries as an opportunity to expand your spiritual light. Adversaries, adversary. I don't know why I said it so weird. That's probably speaking not just about like quote unquote enemies that you have. I don't think you have any. It's more about your own mind. You could be your own enemy sometimes. You could be, like I said, you could be your worst critic. And I think a lot of us struggle with that. But you take it a step forward where you allow your inner critic not just to criticize you, but to completely confuse you. It keep you in a state of like confusion, and then there's no action moving forward. Very interesting. But you're very wise just naturally, very intuitive naturally. Something about, since it's the breath of the cosmos, something about your spoken word is very powerful. Another reason why you feel like you have this sense of like responsibility. You know that your words have power. And again, that is, it just came to me, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I don't know why I missed Gemini. Maybe you are a Gemini, that's why it was eluding me the whole time. Geminis are really good at speaking, getting people to like come on their side, like, I don't know, routing people up, and like they can get along with anybody. So do Libras. Aquariuses are more of like, they're weird, and they have like very niche interests and stuff like that, but still they have this sense of like they want to build community for those people who feel like they're outcasts and stuff like that, which a lot of the spiritual community feels that way, right? Maybe that is why you guys very much feel like you have a big weight on your shoulders. Like, even I'm feeling it in my body right now. Like, you just, the sense of responsibility. Spirit just wants you to breathe, be who you are. It is okay. And slowly but surely, you're going to start trusting yourself. And even if you fuck up along the way, it's okay. Know that it was all meant to happen regardless. But at least you're taking steps, okay? All right. Question number 2. Oh, I picked a lot of cards for this one. Okay. What would they say about the way that you love? Okay, that's why I picked a lot of cards. Look at that. And decisive again, you guys. That's so funny. Okay. The 2 of Pentacles. Oh, the Devil. Okay. Oh, wow. Fate. Oh, that's beautiful. Building blocks. It's time to take action, New Moon in Aries. Okay. I can see that. I can see that with the Devil. Even though it's Capricorn energy, like, I feel like, and the fact that these 2 are Pentacles, very 3D based. So you have you have an interest. Maybe you have a fire Venus. So your Venus sign could be Leo. I don't know. Leo is coming right away. Aries for sure. It could be an Aries as well, but definitely Sagittarius as well. Mainly Leo and Aries, maybe Capricorn as well, because I can't ignore that. However, you love very Scorpio as well. You love very passionately, very intensely. I'm not seeing this as indecisive. If anything, I'm seeing it like you love so much and so hard that you yourself want to balance everything in a relationship, but you are slowly learning that you cannot do this alone. You cannot build a foundation for two people just by yourself. It has to be built together. Very interesting that even like a lesson is coming up here for you. And with it's time to take action, I think that stems back to, or maybe also you struggle a little bit when it comes into your about love life, struggle with like, who do I choose? What do I go with? What do I even truly want? And that kind of that kind of holds you back a bit as well. I think that whatever holds you back spiritually sometimes holds you back in love as well. That indecisiveness is here too. It's here. It makes sense. With fate being in the middle of everything here, even though you're like a cool mix when it comes to how you love, at the end of the day, whoever you end up with, whoever you have ended up with, whether you hurt them, they hurt you, or no one got hurt, things just like dissolved on their own, or whatever it is, it was all fate. I think there's something about the people that you end up being in relationship with. They come and teach you, they uncover a lot of shadow work for you that teaches you. It's almost like they help you build a new you as well. Maybe you learn a lot of your lessons through love. With the Capricorn energy here, Saturn, that's what I'm seeing like lessons. You learn a lot of lessons through love. Saturn teaches you through the people that you fall in love with, that eventually, like, I'm laughing but I'm not laughing, okay? It's just like, it's kind of funny because you might be thinking like, yeah, that makes so much fucking sense, but at the same time I don't like it. Where the people that you end up falling in love with, you in retrospect, like looking back, you realize, yeah, that makes sense that I would be with that person for X amount of years, because they did teach me about my self-worth, for example. They did teach me about what I should expect in a partner when it comes to who respects my boundaries or not. That, everybody that you've been with has taught you a very valuable, to the core of your soul lesson. Not just in love, definitely in love though, but that it stems even further than that. They've helped you build a foundation, but I don't think you have anybody that because this card usually speaks to me about someone that comes into your life to build with you. I think you're still waiting for that person. But fate is here to say, like, you definitely are bound, or there is a connection that is going to be very significant to you, for you in this lifetime, or maybe in many lifetimes it has happened. Because this card, every time I get the fates from this specific deck, which is the Oracle, the Wisdom Oracle, every time I get this card, it's about twin flames, it's about divine counterpart, it's about a destined love that is meant to help you. You help each other, basically. Again, and it makes sense with the building foundations here, building blocks. Quite beautiful, quite beautiful. This new moon in Aries, though. Look up when we have a new moon in Aries, or maybe when we had one, because that would be a significant date for you, probably. You could also be attached to an Aries. Aries is significant because it's out here, and so is Capricorn, but Aries is very significant. With it's time to take action, I think that just circles back to this. Like, whenever you're in this energy, it's better to just move forward, do something different. And again, remember that you are not the only one who's meant to keep the peace in a relationship, who's meant to keep things balanced. It's a team effort. That's why it's a relationship. It takes two. All right. I'm going to clear this out so that we can get to the next two questions. So now we're asking about your spirit team. I'm very, very intrigued about this. Very freaking intrigued. Ooh, look at that. Three of Pentacles. The Hierophant. You guys are crazy. I love it. And fire ant. Okay, nice. So we have water, earth, and fire. This is the Five of Pentacles, but it's also the Hierophant. It's really interesting. Okay, what I'm getting right away is you feel like your spirit team kind of like neglects you, or like they're not around you often, and that's quite the opposite. They're always with you. If anything, they're always co-creating with you. They definitely get to you through, again, the emotional things, the emotional lessons is really when they're there with you. And I was saying that you feel abandoned by them because the Five of Pentacles is usually like an abandonment wound, is being left out in the cold. However, it's also the Hierophant in this deck, so I cannot ignore it. That's literally the divine. I'm also hearing they really do teach you a lot through very harsh lessons, very much triggers and stuff. It's almost like that's where the key to your expansion lies. With the fire ant though, this is really interesting. Let me get the book for this because I don't even know why I don't have the book here, but I need to read about that. Oh, excuse me. All right. I don't know who I'm saying excuse me to because I'm literally alone, but all right. Let's see. Fire ant. Here we go. Aggression, rigid thinking, following orders. When in balance, thoughtful and disciplined. When out of balance, argues, excess heat, and gossip. To bring into balance, solo time, walk at night. Okay, so whenever you get to in this headspace of thinking that you are alone, that your spirit team is not around, they really want you to like go within, be alone for a bit. It's okay to be alone. That makes sense too with the abandonment thing that I was feeling. You're not abandoned. Sometimes you're just meant to be alone to connect with your guides, okay? There's something about three significant guides are here, and then another one is separate. One that is very much prominent in your life, very strong one, because it's coming up as the Hierophant. And then three other ones, they're kind of very lighthearted and they really just support you all the time. There's a lot of support from these. And this one is the one who really teaches you about change and lessons. And then at the end, it's almost like they're saying here, also, it's almost like pay attention what you're attracted to initially, because that matters. Also, pay attention to what ignites your soul, because that also matters. And the being a follower thing with the ants, they don't want you to be a follower. Not at all. Like this Hierophant energy spirit guy wants you to be this. They want you to be singled out, okay, a bit from the crowd, if anything. You could kind of put that off. You maybe don't want to be singled out from the crowd. Maybe you don't like being alone. You don't like the solitude that comes along with the spiritual journey or the spiritual growth that you're meant to do. That would make sense because of the first question that we asked about your spirituality. And you kind of like staying in the limbo because you rather not, because you you know that it's going to take time alone, hermit mode, for you to get to this place that you're meant to get to anyways. I'm hearing it's gonna happen either way. Part one, I think that's so interesting that they're bringing that up in so many ways. They get to you regardless. Like the lessons that you're meant to learn, you're gonna learn them regardless. Because even when we like just not question number 2 about the love and how you love, it came through that you get a lot of lessons through your relationships. Maybe because you spend your entire life kind of going from relationship to relationship. I am not judging you. This is just what I'm reading. Okay, don't shoot the messenger. But yeah, it's almost like maybe you have already embarked on a solo journey, on a very much finding yourself journey, and you're meant to. It'll feel right. It'll feel uncomfortable at first because obviously you're stepping away from your norm, but eventually it'll feel really good to you. The solitude will be welcomed because you'll see that you're not truly alone. you're more finding yourself, you're finding home within, which is like at a soul level. Beautiful. And the last question is, what would they say is your best quality? These are intended to give you a little bit of boost and a little bit of like, because I think you got called out a bit, and I think that's going to happen for everybody, but Paul 1 definitely got a little bit of a call out. We're just going to see what they want, what they're saying about you. What's the best thing that you bring to the table, if you will. And it's not just one, but it's one of them. Okay. 4 of Cups, 9 of Swords. Okay. Ooh, blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. Okay. And look at that Earth Spirit stability. Wow. Okay. Right away with the 4 of Cups, I'm not seeing... ooh, I moved that. I'm not seeing anything negative with the 4 of Cups. What I'm seeing is you have your boundaries up. I think you've learned a lot of lessons now. You don't sacrifice what you want. Her shirt says over it. That's so funny. You don't sacrifice what you want anymore. You know what it is that you want, and you're not going to accept less. The divine knows, okay? The fact that we have the 3 of Cups and then the 4 of Cups fell under it. They know, okay? It's almost like they're celebrating the fact that you have boundaries when it comes to relationships now. Maybe because of the whole thing that's coming up about you, like being in relationship after relationship. And the next thing is that you're getting through this anxiety. You're getting through this painful period in your life. You're almost at the end of it. It's almost like you're very dedicated. Even though the energy that you might be in is this, you are still very firm in your boundaries. And they're saying good. Also, you take accountability for how you are, how you feel, who you are. You don't blame anybody else. I think you might internalize a lot of the blame, but you're working on that. You're working on that, okay? However, it's more of you accept responsibility for yourself. And that, it's almost like you've learned the lesson to step away from the victim mentality. And even though, we do go through things in life where we are victims, we are, we get hurt by others with no rhyme or reason, right? But for you, this is speaking about the things that you have willingly participated in, even though maybe your intuition was telling you not to. And even though now you're in retrospect, you're like, I shouldn't have done that. But now you take accountability for it. You're not feeling like you're the victim. You take accountability. And that is something that they really admire about you. Towards the end here, though, Earth Spirit, stability. They also really, really like how one of your best qualities, probably you really like to be out in nature. You love animals. There's something about you and the Fae having a connection maybe as well. The 2 swans here is really interesting too. They like that you're learning to ground. One of your best qualities too, you bring stability to places. Which again, that could be why you always feel responsible for people, places, situations, things, how things play out. Because you are the bringer of stability. You're the one who maybe internally you're like freaking the fuck out. However, outside of you, you're very calm, cool, and collected, and you really bring perspective towards others. But sometimes you struggle with bringing it towards you, like within, which is this energy, but you're getting there. You're getting there. This is the 9 of Swords. The next step is the 10th of Swords, and then you're done. And again, one of your best qualities is even though you might be uncomfortable, you still are setting your ways in the best of ways. You have your boundaries set. Even though you might be struggling internally, you still take responsibility for your well-being. And again, you still bring that stability to other people as well. And slowly but surely, you're learning to internalize this too and bring it to yourself. I think this is definitely what this guide is teaching you about. All right. I love that. I just looked at the timer and it said 24:24. So that might be significant for some of you. And I just realized 2 and 4 is 6. So that would be 6/6. And today is the 6/6 portal. So maybe that's significant for you as well. Alrighty. Thank you so much, Pawan, for letting me read for you. This was a beautiful reading. I really hope that it resonated and it gives you a little bit of, like a little bit of boost at the end, and also a lot of information. And, we were being a little bit nosy about you. So I hope that's okay. Thank you again so much, and I hope to see you in other readings in the future. Hello, Pal 2. So if you picked this labradorite and Pal 2, obviously, this is going to be your reading. I'm going to leave this one here. I like it when it shifts. There we go. All right, so we are going to be looking into 4 questions that would say things about you, like what a tarot reader would say about you. I don't know why I'm like all twisted with my words now, you guys. Okay, that's interesting. That could be your energy. Okay, let me clear the air a bit here first, because I don't know, I feel like it. Maybe some of you are meant to be cleansing a bit of your space. You could do that with incense, or if it's in your practice, it's Palo Santo. If it's appropriate for you, maybe some sage. I don't know, whatever it is that you want to do. Incense is safe for everybody. I feel like saying that. Maybe you want to do that. All right, so first question that we're asking and we're getting an answer about is, what would a tarot reader say about your spirituality, your spiritual path? Ooh, interesting. 4 of Pentacles. The cosmic heart, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. Wow. And guidance. You are not alone. You are guided by masters and teachers of the highest realm. The fact that I flipped all of your cards at once, I didn't do that with Paw 1. It's almost like you want to get to it. I like that. I talk too much sometimes. Okay. 6 of Swords and 4 of Pentacles is an interesting mix for you, especially when it comes to like spirituality. It's almost like whatever you do, you keep it very close to your heart. You keep it very, it's not secretive, but it is like, you might feel like you're a little bit of like a baby. I want to say baby witch. I hear that right away, but you don't have to accept that title or, that description. Maybe you're a little bit new at what you're doing here spiritually, or your spiritual path in general. Maybe you come from a kind of like a tumultuous environment, which was what triggered your spiritual awakening or your spiritual path in general. We're always on a spiritual path, even though if we're not actively on it, we're still on it. We're still having a spiritual experience along with a human experience. But I'm saying, like, when you kind of awoke into it, it came from a place of a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, which is why you probably hold on for dear life to the little things that you have mastered, you have learned, that you care about in your spiritual practices. I think you quite literally are working towards making your life a moving prayer, which is beautiful. You have a really big heart, Pal, too, a really big heart, a healing heart, a heart that is welcoming to all, which is probably why there was this, I'm seeing like a very significant event that was very freaking painful for you. Very, very painful. Yeah. I'm hearing you didn't even deserve it, but eventually you've learned a lot from it. You're so amazing, Pal, too, that you're like, well, I learned, and now I get to be on this path on my healing journey. It was meant to happen. That's how you see it. You receive a lot of guidance every single day, every moment, anything, whenever, especially whenever you need it, you receive a lot of guidance. You have a lot of really amazing people on your side, and I want to say on the other side, but on your side regardless. And they really want you to know that you're not alone. Like spiritually, like at a spiritual level, whenever you're doing whatever it is that you do spiritually, which I think your magic stems from your heart, your love, which is going to be interesting because that's the next question. What would they say about the way that you love? I think it's tied to this. But you're so protected, you're so loved, you're so cherished. Your spirit team is, even though this is not the spirit team question, they're still here saying we really do support you in everything that you want to do and pursue. You're doing your thing, and it's okay to take your time. It's okay to go one step at a time. It's almost like the pentacles are looking like steps to me, one lesson at a time, one step at a time. And throughout it all, we realize and we recognize just how powerful you are, because you bring stuff towards you, or just like you experience your spirituality through your heart center. And I mean, that card is beautiful. Your life is a moving prayer. Wow. Very powerful. Love is one of the most powerful energies, powerful emotions, that powerful everything that we feel and connect to. The fact that you naturally do it, you naturally just expand, like it just comes from you. Like, do you see that? Like it's just like her chest is lit up, because, and the fact that she's holding that so close to her chest as well. Yeah, that's really beautiful. All right, let's see, because I think these are tied together. That's why I'm not getting so much with this, but I am getting that your spirituality stems from your heart, and that is beautiful in itself. So we're asking with the second set of cards, how do you love? How do you love others? How do you show up for others in connections, whether that be obviously emotional, whether that be romantic, platonic, co-workers, family, everything. Ooh, the moon with the Page of Swords. Why? Peace. Okay. Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. Okay. That makes so much sense, because with the moon right away, I was like, you don't tell people, you have a hard time expressing how you feel about others. Even though you love very deeply, you might struggle with expressing it. That does not mean that your love doesn't run through and through, like deep for others. But sometimes you struggle with that. The fact that we have the moon, and then we have a full moon card that says, show the world the real you. This is almost like an advice here for you, saying, it's okay. It's okay to open up your heart. That is where your magic lies, though. That's the thing. It's okay to open up your heart and show just how much you love everybody. Those who would appreciate it will appreciate it. Those who would never give a shit about it, they won't give a shit about it whether you show it or not. You know what I mean? Like, that, it's that kind of mentality that you need to have here. With the Page of Swords, it makes sense as well. You kind of show up in love a little bit like childlike, a little bit of maybe, again, you might love someone, but you just say, no, I really like you and I appreciate you, which there's nothing wrong with that. But if you feel like saying you love them, say it. It's okay. If they don't love you back, they don't love you back. If they love you back, they'll tell you, or they'll show you with their actions as well. I think you also, in love, you tend to ask a lot of questions, as far as like, you might struggle with just that. Like, you're asking yourself, like, why is it that I struggle with communicating how I feel? Why is it that me expressing myself in love, it can be really hard for me? I think the reason why is you still have some shadow work to do when it comes to the way that you love and show up and show people how you love them. Maybe there's some things that you need to learn about yourself. It makes sense too. There's also some confidence that you need to gain when it comes to how you love, or something like that. That the confidence leads you to just be yourself authentically, and you don't really care what other people think. Peace being here, though, it's really interesting. I think if you ever have like fights with other people, whether that be in any kind of connection, because I'm not really focusing on just love, like romantic love. I feel like it's all over for you, right? All kinds of relationship. Whenever maybe you're a little bit short fused, or your words could be kind of cutthroat sometimes. That's when you go into, yeah, that, I just burped, that was confirmation for me, especially about your throat. Like there, you struggle with speaking from a place where you know that you feel like saying certain things. Maybe you have a bit of a short fuse, but you say, you could maybe sometimes say a little bit of hurtful things. Nothing untrue, but it's your delivery that could be a little bit childish or something like that. And then you go and you go and like within, and you ask yourself, why am I like that? You really are trying to work on that. But then you are also the person who is not someone who is arrogant and like ego based. You do extend the olive branch. You do try to build a bridge again. You know, you do try to mend things, if you will. That's, I mean, I mean, it's good to own up to, or it's also good to be the person who reaches out and like it's willing to accept when they're wrong. It's maybe not what you said wasn't wrong, maybe it was the way you say it or something like that. There's something about your communication skills when it comes to your relationships that you're working on. I quite literally see it, because or else we wouldn't have this literally in the middle of you asking why. You really are trying to understand yourself and you're trying to grow. But you know, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We've all been a page of swords in love. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. I think you're a little bit new about on when it comes to like when I talk about like shadow work, or I don't know, just like getting to know yourself, maybe being on a spiritual path, on a healing journey, you're kind of new at it, which would make sense why we're picking up on that page energy, and you being a little bit reserved, but you know, like you're learning, you're doing the thing. It's okay. It's little by little. You don't just magically one day decide, oh yeah, I'm on a spiritual journey, I'm just going to be the perfect person forever, healed and everything. Like that doesn't work like that. The healing journey, you'll realize, and probably you have already, it takes time. And it takes time because it also takes time for the divine to align you with the people that are going to teach you certain lessons, and the people that you are going to teach certain lessons to. You don't just learn everything by yourself. There's interactions to be had, connections to be connected or severed, you know, like everything, it takes time. All right, so question number 3 should be really interesting, because you guys are kind of new to this. So I'm wondering, so what would they say about your spirit team? Let's see where you're the 3 of Pentacles, the Holy Trinity is here for you. That is beautiful. Interestingly enough, pile 3 also got a 3. They got the 3 of Cups. Really interesting that those are coming up with. Look at that. The 6 of Swords again. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And look at that. The moon is equivalent to the whale to me in this deck, obviously. The depths that you're... the depth of your wisdom, of your soul is infinite. There's a lot there. There's a lot for you to uncover and unravel in the shadows as well. Wow. It's like that's what you're moving towards. It's okay. Your spirit team is definitely one that is... There's 2 specific guides here for you. And like it's you in the middle. So I'm seeing like it's you, let's say the divine, and let's say your spirit team. You, the universe, whatever it is that you resonate with, it's you in between the universe and let's say fate. It's you between your soul and spirit. Like there's a combination there. There's a co-creation of all of you. It makes sense. Spirituality and connecting with your spirit guides is always about co-creating. You know, they guide you, and you in retrospect, like you as a as a result of their guidance, you choose the right things. But you have, in order to choose the right things, you have to trust your intuition. So you have to tap into yourself. So it is really yourself the universe, your guides. You know, it's not, you don't do it alone, is what I'm saying. They're also very much pointing out that they were the ones who guided you away from that hurtful thing that happened to you. And again, take whatever resonates, you guys. If that doesn't resonate with you, you know, not necessarily that this is not your reading, just that part is not yours. I'm reading for a collective, but I really much feel like some of you, some of this collective, you went through a very harsh thing, okay? Very harsh ending, change or something. They guided you away from there. They're still doing that, actually. It's still happening. Um, and they want you to know that it's a process, okay? It's a process, but you're doing what you're meant to be doing. And sometimes you're in the water. However, this is swords, but you know, you're still in the water. So, and it's interesting that when we have a water creature after that. Let's read about the whale. Let's see what the whale has to say to you. Probably whales are, they have been like coming up in your reality for some of you. That's probably one of your spirit guides trying to deliver a message. Definitely, if you see whales, like I don't know, whales in real life, obviously that will be amazing. But whales like in your feed, like let's say on TikTok, on Instagram, or something like that. If you're called to see a documentary about whales, that's usually your spirit guides saying that they're there. That's really interesting. Whenever anything from the sea, you feel very connected to. Desire to delve deeper, profound peace. Look at that. Peace again. Ancient wisdom. I think you carry a lot of ancient wisdom within you. You might be even a little scared to look in the depths of your soul for all this wisdom that you carry. But you're headed that way, let me tell you. All right. When in balance, calm, steady, deeply compassionate. When out of balance, heavy, slips into old stories. That makes so much sense. To bring into balance, regular self-care. Yeah, you're meant to be taking care of yourself because you've been through something very, very intense here. All right, I want to read the whole thing for you. The word represents profound emotional health and stability. Well, personalities are not afraid of emotional expression or traversing difficult terrain as they have overcome many challenges in their lives. That is you, Pautu. That is you. They want you to embody this well energy. Excuse me, confirmation. Because you should not be afraid to express yourself emotionally. You have such an emotional depth to you, but because maybe growing up or maybe this specific situation or I don't know, but it feels like it's a deep wound that you have here where you have expressed your emotions and it wasn't well received. It was, I don't know, it was handled wrong by whoever is on the other side of the situation. And that's why you might shy away from even expressing yourself emotionally. But you're such an emotional being. It's okay to show your emotions. You're safe to do that. This experience have enriched them, given it stability, strength, and depth that is rare. Well energy is usually linked to the feminine forces of compassion and communication. We can depend on well personalities when all else seems lost and trust them to be a beacon in our darkest hour. That is quite beautiful. That is quite beautiful. Whenever your spirit team pulls wells in your in your reality, that is them telling you that they support you. Maybe you see a lot of well related shit when I don't mean to call it shit, but like I don't know, it just came out that way. When you are in one of your darkest moments, and it's so odd and like simple, but that's really them saying like, hey, we're here, we get it. Like you're going through something that's intense, but we're here for you. All right, question number 4. What would they say is your best quality? Look at that. The way that you love others and you give. Look at that. The 6 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. The way that you reciprocate any kind of emotion and love and care that other people give you, tenfold, quite literally 10 of Cups. You get a 6 of Cups and here you are giving a 10 of Cups energy. That is, wow. you really need to take care of yourselves emotionally, Pal, to make sure that you're pouring your love into people that deserve it as well. Not to say that it is wrong to just stay in your nature and just love because you love people. Not saying there's anything wrong with that. However, they want you to be a little bit smart about who you give it to. Wow. Make sure it's reciprocated. Make sure you also pour love into yourself, not just outside of you. Look at that. Your willingness to surrender. I think that's literally what you have done, which is why they were able to pull you away from this very harsh thing that you were going through. I can release my need to control. Owl spirit, wisdom. Wow. This is you. You are wise beyond your years. Your emotional intelligence is, it's almost like it's coming to the surface now. It's not even in the depths of your soul anymore. It's coming to the surface because you are working on your emotional intelligence. So the wisdom is coming up. You are an amazing soul. Very old soul as well, I have to say. You've conquered one of the hardest lessons in a spiritual path. And it's in life, period. You don't have to be spiritual. The surrender. The allowing things to play out. You know, like allowing yourself to follow your intuition. Allowing yourself to surrender the how, the who, the when, the why, and just let life unfold for you. While you still actively, you know, are obviously involved, but this surrender comes with acceptance. The surrender comes with gratitude. The surrender comes with wisdom. That is incredible. A lot of your wisdom, though, I have to say it again, comes from your emotions. Your emotional body will tell you everything that you need to know. Your emotions will tell you, are connected to your intuitiveness so deeply. Make sure that you pay attention how people make you feel, what you intuitively receive from them. Don't neglect that. Whatever, that's literally wisdom coming to you. Your body expresses its wisdom through your emotions as well. Wow. Talk about a 180 that you're doing here. We're going from someone that could not communicate or communicate very well when it comes to how they feel about others and relationships in general and like love and all of that, to someone who is quite literally wisdom and body when it comes to their emotional well-being. Wow, that's beautiful. That's you right there. Congratulations, Baltu. Wow. Okay. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. This was a beautiful, like, and kind of just very, very twisted kind of reading for me. It almost like goes from one side to the other, but amazing nonetheless. Thank you so much. It was a privilege to read for you, Pautu. I really hope that it resonated and, you know, brought you confirmation about some stuff, and you know, you enjoyed it as well, because this was really just meant to be like gossipy and like, what would they say about you kind of thing, you know? But, you know, sometimes serious shit comes through because your spirit team is not playing around about you, obviously. Okay, so once again, thank you so much, and I'll see you in other readings in the future, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Hello, hello, Pal 3. If you picked the 2 Herkimer Diamonds, this is going to be your reading. Before I get started with you guys, I'm just going to clear the energy a bit here. All the piles have been very cool, but kind of profound. So I just want to make sure that we have like a clean slate for you guys. All right. We're doing it. All right. So part 3, let's see what a tarot reader will say about you. I don't know if you missed the intro, but that's okay. we are going to start with the first question. I have 4 questions in total. So first question is, what would they say about your spirituality, your spiritual path? You spiritually, period, okay? Let's see. Page of Pentacles, cool. The Devil, cool. Okay, a lot of earth energy, very grounded energy. I mean, I got that right away with the page because she's literally like setting roots in the ground, okay? With the Devil, Capricorn energy here. Maybe you like the dark side of magic. You like the dark side of and I'm not saying like black magic, or not that there's anything like that. Anyways, magic is magic, but you might like the dark side of spirituality. Like you might be someone who feels very guided to like work with like the fae, the people that, you know, the creatures that other spiritual people kind of shy away from are the creatures that, you know, draw you in. Like quite literally, maybe demons, you like that as well. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe you like more of like, maybe how you even present yourself. I'm seeing someone that like, I don't know, you might be, people look at you and quite literally would like label you right away as a witch because of how you dress and how you present yourself and your demeanor, or maybe your physicality, your style and stuff like that. But you quite literally, you're I think you're a very nice and sweet soul. It's just the way that you present yourself. That's really interesting. Also, spiritually, you're very protected, even by those creatures again that people don't really want to mess with. You maybe don't even work with them, but they are protective of you. Very interesting what's coming through with that. Some people, when they tap into your energy, like as a tarot reader, like honestly, if I was, let's say, that's interesting, the message that I'm getting. Like if I wasn't just reading for you as my client, right? And I was reading for someone else, asking about you, if I get this card, I might be a little bit taken aback, kind of like, maybe don't inquire about my spirituality. It's none of your fucking business is what I'm getting with this. Which I actually like that. Okay, we'll leave it there. I don't, I don't need to be nosy. Even though I'm reading for you, but ooh, losing your grip, coping mechanism, destiny, addiction, let God in. Interesting, addiction with the Devil here. Okay, that makes sense. Maybe a little bit of the blockages that you have experienced in your spiritual path have to do with you dealing with some kind of addictions. I'm hearing right away maybe some addictions to certain recreational things, like maybe alcohol, maybe weed, maybe other drugs. I don't know. Not judgment, but those can kind of like they stay in your, what is it? They kind of deviate you from your path a little bit. They kind of hinder your connection a bit. Interesting. With losing your grip though, and the fact that the Devil is like has like ties on someone. Maybe you're meant to be a little bit open about your spirituality. Maybe you're not as open as you should be. And maybe that's why people like perceive it as you doing something weird or dark or something like that. Or I don't want to say evil because I'm not getting that from you, but like that's the perception, okay? That's the perception is what I should say. All right. Fruition. Rest assured, your dreams and visions will come to fruition. The fact that that rhymes again makes me think there's witchiness to you, because you know how like in all the TV shows and stuff like that, spells always kind of rhyme at the end. That's you. That's so interesting. Rest assured, your dreams and visions will come to fruition. You are probably someone who is very much talented with like psychic dreams, visions even. You could, I mean, you know what I'm getting? That's so funny. I mentioned TV shows, and right now when I said like visions, I envisioned That's So Raven. Like you literally could just go in a transit for a second there. It's like You go into another world. In your mind's eye, you just see something's going to happen. And it's not like verbatim, like exactly what you see, but eventually you do realize that something along the lines of what you thought would happen did happen. And you're like, whoa, what was that? Also, I don't, maybe some of you are the ones who perceive your spiritual gifts as like the devil or something dark, something that you shouldn't dive into. And what I'm seeing here is no, this is a gift from God. This is, you're meant to be diving into your spirituality. Very powerful spiritually, actually. All right. Question number 2 is, what would they say about the way that you love? Page of Wands, the Empress. Wow. Very passionately and very, the Empress is your loving energy. She encompasses all of the queens, so you are very well-rounded. You're also very sure what you want, what you don't want. You, maybe you are a divine feminine, and if not, if you don't identify with being a divine feminine, you definitely kind of lean towards that, or you could be balancing your divine feminine energy when it comes to how your approach to love at this time. And you attract things to you in love. Maybe a lot of the times in relationships, you're not the one who pursues, you're always the one who gets pursued, if you will. You're the one who gets courted, you're the one who gets asked out. You don't really are the one who does that. Not necessarily because you don't like to, or it's just what happens, honestly. Taurus energy coming through here. Taurus is ruled by Venus, so the way that you love is quite beautiful. It's a love, you know, like I don't know how to say it. It's just, that's just what it's. I love that it's love, okay, and it's a passionate one at that. Very lighthearted as well. You're kind of, you're an amazing person to be in love with. I think you also, the way that you show your love is very authentic to you, is felt by the other person. That's beautiful. Co-create. Yeah. Ooh, orphaned. Okay. The energy is gaining momentum. I think you take it slow. You don't put energy into other people unless they co-create with you. I like that, and it's because you've learned your lesson. In love, you've been the one who gave too much before. Yeah, you don't get to be the Empress without going through all the queens, like I said. So you had to learn all of those lessons in order to get to a point where you embody this energy. And again, the energy is getting momentum. Lets me know that you take things slow, one thing at a time. And again, you give when you're given to as well. And you give and you see if you receive. And if not, you adjust accordingly. You're very wise when it comes to love as well. Very wise. But again, more cat energy. I feel like that's fire energy. You're also very fiery when it comes to love. Very protective of who you love as well. But you've learned this from your abandonment was being triggered, has led you to realize that you have to take things slow. You can't just jump in all the time with everybody. But again, the way that you love, when you decide that you're going to love someone, it is felt. I almost said about 3, it is felt to the core, okay? This person, whoever you love, cannot deny that you love them. And it is felt, it is magical, it's like, it's even healing. Your love is just beautiful. Wow. But you also do that comes from a place where you feel like you're being loved in that same way. You know what I mean? Because you've learned that lesson, like I said. All right, that's incredible. All right, let's get to the other 2 questions now. So my third question is, what would they say about your spirit team? This has been interesting in every pile. I'm sure yours will not disappoint. Ace of Swords. I was seeing swords right away. But you know what I was seeing? The Three of Swords. Because in every pile before, we had gotten a 3 and a 3 in the first card. But okay, Ace of Swords. And Five of Cups in reverse. Interesting. Look at that. With the owl. Another owl. Okay. So air. Air, water, and air again. Okay. With the Ace of Swords, your spirit team is definitely one that does not, they're not around the bushes. They're very forward. They communicate very clearly with you, just like you communicate very clearly back to them. Sometimes though, it's like they want you to open your mind a little bit more. Maybe your mind is a little crowded with stuff, but still, you know, they still get through. Because this card, I always see it as like cutting through the bullshit, just because of the sword being in the middle of everything here. They still get through to you, but maybe you're meant to like clear your mind a bit for this wisdom to just easily come through. With the Five of Cups in reverse, it leads me back to that orphan card, even though because also it was a 5 in that deck. It's interesting. There's something about a lot of lessons for you come in love, and that's been kind of the thing for the entire, for all the piles. Is really interesting because it's almost like you guys are a collective, and then I'm digging into parts of the collective, if you will, within the collective. You know what I mean? I don't know. Anyways, that's just my mind kind of like trying to understand why every pile has touched upon that. But yeah, you learn a lot of your lessons, your spiritual lessons that your spirit team brings through. It's through through your emotional body is how you learn. They communicate with you through the emotional body as well. But a lot of it is through whatever it is that you like to inquire about, that you want to learn about. I think you're someone who's very inquisitive. You ask a lot of questions. You have a lot of questions, period. You like knowing things just for the sake of knowing them. There's no rhyme or reason. You know, you just like knowing things. And they like that about you as well. And it's like your spirit team is the same way. They feed you a lot of stuff. They give you a lot of information. However, sometimes with all the information that you're given, there's like one specific thing that you need to focus on, and sometimes you can miss the point, or I don't know. Maybe that's how it's meant to be, actually. Let me read for you about the owl, because at the end of the day, you're showing up. They see you and they communicate with you in a way where like wisdom just naturally exudes from you. Maybe you just struggle a bit with getting the information, like deciphering it, but your spirit team helps you to decipher. They help you through your mind, your bright, smart mind, and your emotional body as well. Okay. It's almost like whatever your emotional body rejects, pay attention to that. That's your intuition speaking to you. That's a very strong message for some of you. Whatever is rejected by your body, like quite literally your emotions are like, don't do that. Like whatever feels wrong, whenever something triggers you in a certain way, it's usually like a signal. Like I'm just seeing like a beep or like a red flash. It's like, pay attention to that. That's literally your body saying, your intuition, your wisdom telling you, don't pay attention to that. Whether it is don't do it, do it, you know, whatever that means. Whatever the situation is, but all right. Let's see the owl. Abundance, clairvoyant. That makes sense. Clairvoyant makes so much sense. We have like your vision and your dreams will come to fruition. And then treasures. When in balance, generous, trusting, and secure. When out of balance, money garrels and scarcity to bring into balance and offering. Interesting. So the owl is a mysterious and otherworldly creature found in the folklore from east to west. The white owl is in this particular deck is the companion of the goddess Lakshmi. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I hope I am. And represents wealth, beauty, and good fortune. When the owl card appears, it is an omen that a boon or treasure is on its way, either in spiritual or material form. Definitely in spiritual form for you, because we're asking about your spirit guides, but it could be in the physical as well, like, abundance, monetary wise. Um, Sorry, I lost my place. Okay, with the owl, wisdom is on your side. You'll see and you'll know exactly what to do with this boon, how it can further serve your dharma, so your life path, your journey, like what you're meant to be doing, and bring abundance to the world. Abundance it's not just about money. Abundance is also about knowledge. Maybe spiritual knowledge is being like you're receiving downloads and you're meant to be sharing that with others. Trust that the wellspring of treasures is infinite. Wow, that is intense. Your spirit team is a very intense one. Whenever you see owls, that's your spirit team, okay? That's them saying, hey, we're here. This is a message. Or, the next thing that you see is a message. The thing that you just saw is a message. I don't know. Whenever they show up in your reality, whether you see owl, it doesn't have to be just the white owl, but like whenever you see owls, maybe in your real life, if you live around a place where they live, or, like in social media and stuff, pay attention to that. Last question is, what is your best quality? What would they say is your best quality? Ooh, justice. I love that. 10 of Wands. I love that too. It literally ties into justice for me. It's like, when it's time to let go of things. The fact that she's holding a sword. Oof. And the sword is up there too. I keep moving this clear quartz there. Okay. Wow. Libra energy for sure. That makes sense. There's air energy here. You're very just. You're very balanced as well. And you're not afraid to let go of things. When you know that they're not yours anymore to carry, you truly are just like, okay, if I'm done, I'm done. That's wisdom too. Knowing when to give up, when to let go of things that you no longer have to carry. Even though you might feel like you're still responsible for them, you're like, have to let it go, because you really, what is it? You really value balance and staying balanced, feeling like yourself, and also you want to be very just with people around you in every situation. You have a deep sense of like your kindness. And I know that this is so weird that I'm getting that from that card, but I feel like your kindness shows up with how just and fair you want to be towards others. Or you could be the voice of reason, the voice of kindness when other people are kind of being judgmental. You bring people back to thinking about the fact that they all probably struggle with certain things in their life, and it's not okay to judge others for what they have to carry. That is a beautiful thing. Wow, that is beautiful, Pile 3. Fear. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. That's you. That's you. You've conquered fear through the energy of love and acceptance, and not being judgmental towards others, but trying to be very fair, because you too have been in this situation. You know what it feels like to carry burdens, or carry things that make you feel guilty about stuff. But that in itself makes you fear your life, fear the world, fear connections. But you've learned that lesson because you stay in that energy of love. Wow. Like I said, your emotional body very much gives you intuitive hits. Interesting. Oh, Wood nymph, beauty. Yeah, you definitely are beautiful. Without a doubt, you shine from within. Your beauty, I'm not just saying that, like, I don't know what I'm even saying. Because right now I'm picturing someone like saying, oh, beauty's within. But like, you're also found beautiful by other people when you're outside, outwardly presentation, if you will. However, your beauty truly does come from within. You are a beautiful soul. There's something about, how, I don't know, the number three is significant. Obviously, this is about three, but like I said before, in the spirit team, usually I would get three and I would see it as, it's you and your spirit guides and stuff like that. But now look, it came out in the last card for you. I can't help but see your spirit team here around you or beings just like your like soul family or something like that. You're aligning to them, or they're around you already. Maybe in spirit they're about to materialize. Um, you're like magical. You're like I don't know, like a fairy or a creature of the woods is what I want to say. That's really interesting. I think your pure heart, your sense of justice, of fairness, of understanding, of staying, like I said, in the energy of love, and not just for yourself, but you bring that kind of clarity to others as well. You use your wisdom to bring compassion out of people, understanding out of people. That is beautiful. That's where your beauty lies, and you're very much celebrated because of it. You're very much appreciated because of it. Wow. All of these pals, you guys have been amazing people. But okay, thank you so much, Pal 3, for letting me read for you. I really appreciate you sharing your energy with me and doing this fun little reading. I want to also thank your spirit guides for trusting me to read for you today and for trusting me to read about them to you today. Um, yeah, thank you so much. I really hope that you have an amazing rest of your day, and I hope to see you in other readings in the future. Have a good one.